Let's nerd out on some wine. I'm Dan.
And I'm Sam.
And we're gonna jump a little bit in to Licinia 2016 IGT Toscana. So let's just break this down a little bit. I'm your layman wine guy. This is your pro wine guy. So let's see what comes out of it here and learn a little bit about this product. Sam, why don't you open this up for us?
No, you were opening it.
Yes, right. So we got these here. I don't even know where we got this one from, but I guess this is how I would MacGyver this, because we don't have it, because you can't pull the foil off of this. So I'm gonna just butcher this one up real quick. So just bear with us. So all you professional somms out there, go after Sam. He's the pro.
I just refuse to use one of this.
You see that? We're an approachable. All right. So I'm pretty sure you just go in. So 2016. Let's talk about that first, because I think this is, and maybe more importantly, when you're looking at a wine, one of the most important things is the vintage and where it's from, and we're looking at 2016 out of Tuscany, which we know is kick-ass.
Yeah, super iconic vintage when we're talking about Tuscany here, and one of the reasons why I was really excited to taste the wine, we were out to dinner when we tasted this wine for the first time, and normally when I see a wine that's almost 10 years old in this price point, it makes me a little weary. I think of a lot of times, people will buy these wines to get them cheap in people's hands. But we know 2016 is an iconic vintage in Tuscany, and we know the producer is a great producer. So something like this, for smaller producers or cheaper producers, I have a little bit more expectation for this wine to hold up a little longer, compared to maybe if we talk about 2017s from the same producer, I'd expect it to fall maybe a little bit flat.
And so when we're diving a little bit deeper into it, first of all, let's see where the wine's from and the whole history of it, because especially when you're coming out of Italy, an old world wine producing country, you're going to get a lot more backstory to we're talking about centuries. So I don't know, is this first of all, is this bottle good? Hold on a second.
It's good.
Okay, because I'm getting Corkville USA over here, but yeah, but I could just be smelling the cork. And look what's going on with this corkscrew right now. So let's see. So what's the varietal on this again?
So it's actually a red blend with actually a heavy dose of Petit Verdot, which is kind of one of the reasons why this wine is holding up. Cheers. Cheers. Petit Verdot is a very thick-skinned grape, and when we talk about wines that need longevity, need a lot of tannin structure and a lot of acidity. You get the acidity from being in the old world, and the tannin structure from the heavy dose of Petit Verdot here is what gives it its longevity. A price point wine like this doesn't normally hold up this long, but because of this blend being the style it is, it has a little bit more depth and a little bit more length ahead of it.
Tuscany just has a million hidden gems there. Yeah, so this wine absolutely is going to be considered a super Tuscan, and right, wrong, or indifferent, a marketing term. Now it's a moniker that is kind of applied to a certain style, but these are basically non-Italian designated wines that come out of the region of Tuscany, mostly in the Bordeaux style of wine. So you're looking at some blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot, that kind of varietal range. And that's it. And they're really big, fantastic, high quality wines, but they don't follow the rules. So again, I don't know if you can see it here, but there is no Italian designation on the label. That does not mean it's not good quality, but that's super Tuscan basically.
Yeah, it's basically telling you we don't play by the rules. We want to make wine the best that we can make with the grapes that we have, so don't force me to do anything with my product. And then in turn, making the wines the way that they believe is the best quality that they can make. Rules are broken.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the wine?
This is going to be a big wine. So this is a big wine. So if you're a Napa Cab lover with a little old world flair, this wine's going to be for you. Very good. I'm getting it all in there and letting it do it. We're tasting this midday right now, so this is going to be a good food and dinner wine, to be honest with you.
I think the age is a big factor as well. I mean, we're 2025. You're looking at 9 years old. I think there's still a decent amount of fruit here, which I think people look for in bigger style wines. But if you're a real kind of collector wine drinker, the secondary notes of earth, clay, I always get, which is weird, a lot of people don't get it, but like almost this hint of like Worcestershire thing that goes on in aged wine. But you're getting those hints of aged wine in a wine at this price point that normally you rarely find.
So we're looking, from a tasting perspective, we're looking at a full-bodied wine here. Definitely a food wine, but age is your friend in this particular bottle because it's softened up the tannins, usually coming out of Italy, for me particularly when I'm drinking Italian wine. Maybe my favorite category of red wine, but a food must. because the tannin structures in it, just for me, it overpowers just your palate immediately. So, but I think the age helps here. I think
so
right. It's
tannins for longevity.
Yep.
As wine ages, tannins soften up, acidity pushes through. But again, to me, this is not as much as a learning wine as it is a, almost like a collector's dream. We call them cellar protectors. I don't know if you know what a cellar protector is, but it's someone who buys expensive wines but don't want to break into something on a Wednesday night, but they want that high quality kind of feel. This wine is aged like a high quality wine at a price point where you can open it up and not feel bad about on a Tuesday night opening up an aged style of Super Tuscan.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a good wine at $30 on the shelf, $29.99 on the shelf. You're getting a lot here. There's a lot of character. There's a lot in this bottle. 2016, you're not finding these all over the place. We know that 2016 was an incredible vintage in Tuscany, so that in itself is worth the price point. Some of the Brunellos that were coming out at that time,
insane.
It was some of the best ever. So we look at a wine like this at $30 from a producer like this, and it's a really good bottle of wine, and I'm glad they showed you guys at dinner because
got lucky.
it's no, for real. Sam came in after the dinner. I was like, we have to bring and try this wine in because it was absolutely killer.
Yeah,
So
it was
a good
definitely
wine.
a stunner for sure.
Good wine.